I heard the sentence as if it were drifting through water, muffled, distorted, unreal. I don't want your last name anymore. My new dad says you're a loser and I should take a real man's name. My son said it with the blank ease of a child repeating someone else's script. My wife stood behind him, glowing, proud of the cruelty she had helped shape. She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, like she had earned this moment. I didn't react, not outwardly. Inside, something cracked, quietly, cleanly, like ice splitting under a slow, deliberate weight. I looked at her. She held the gaze far too long, smiling that polished smile she wore when she thought she'd finally won. I reached into my coat. My hand felt unnaturally steady. I expected tremors, rage, anything. But there was nothing, only a cold clarity spreading through me like frost. I pulled out a pen, clicked it once. The sound was small, but it sliced the room open. "Fine," I said. "Sign here." A single sheet, a line at the bottom. Her handwriting landed on it with the confidence of someone who believed she was stepping into a better life. A week later, the family estate lawyer called her. I wasn't in the room, but I could imagine the way his voice must have trembled. "Ma'am," a pause, a swallow. "You should sit down." And that's where the real story begins. The betrayal hadn't arrived suddenly. It had been growing, quietly, like mold in the walls, long before she dared to be bold enough to let it show. I had felt the drift, the late-night messages she claimed were from friends, the sudden perfume she never used around me, the new softness in her voice whenever she answered calls she refused to take in front of me. I wasn't blind. I wasn't naive. I just waited. People reveal themselves without realizing it. All you have to do is stay still long enough. It was the way she spoke to him, my new dad. My son's slip, her triumphant smirk, the subtle, practiced disdain she coached him to aim at me. I knew then. There was another man. Not a fling, not a momentary fantasy, a replacement. She'd already built a future with him, a future where I was erased, rewritten, dismissed like an outdated story. And she thought I would simply break, explode, beg. But my silence wasn't surrender. It was strategy. The investigation wasn't dramatic. It was methodical. Phone records, financial statements, emails synced through a forgotten tablet she still believed was broken. Every night, after they fell asleep, I sat in the dark and watched their lives unfold in messages lit by the screen's cold glow. He called her queen. She called him stable. They joked about my predictability, my calmness, my usefulness. They believed I would never notice, never act. The thing about quiet men is that people mistake quiet for harmless, but quiet is just contained. I gathered everything, dates, screenshots, transfers, even the paternity test she didn't know I had requested months ago, just to extinguish a doubt she herself had planted in me with careless cruelty. The results confirmed what I already feared. My son wasn't mine. She'd known. He'd known. His friends knew. Everyone but me. Yet even as the truth tightened around my throat, I didn't rage. I refined, rewrote, prepared. I crafted the document with the same precision she had destroyed our life, slowly, confidently, without remorse. When I finally handed her the page, it wasn't revenge. It was closure dressed as compliance. The lawyer's call shattered whatever fantasy she had lived in. She had signed exactly what I needed her to sign, a full surrender of marital assets, custody acknowledgement, a declaration that she had knowingly misled me about paternity. Her signature, her choice, her arrogance. The lawyer read it to her, line by line. She panicked, she cried, she begged him to undo it. But the pen she had been so eager to use had already rewritten her future. And when she confronted me, finally, her voice cracked with a kind of desperation I had never heard from her before. She held the papers out, shaking. "You tricked me." I met her eyes. "I let you reveal yourself. Nothing more." Her world collapsed in the silence that followed. I didn't yell. I didn't blame. I didn't insult her lover or condemn her choices. All I did was slide the paternity report across the table, face up. Her son's name, her lie. Our history reduced to a set of numbers that removed me completely. She gasped, as if the truth were an impact she hadn't braced for. Her legs buckled. Her hand covered her mouth.
You knew? I nodded once, long before you tried to replace me. Her sobbing filled the room, raw, animalistic, a sound of someone watching the future they built turn to ash in their hands. I didn't stay to watch her crumble. I had seen enough. There are moments in life when pain burns itself clean, when you walk through the fire and come out the other side no longer carrying the weight that kept you human.
I stood at the doorway, looking back only once. Not at her, not at the child, at the version of myself that had stayed far too long, hoping she would choose loyalty over excitement, truth over fantasy. That man was gone, replaced. And as I closed the door behind me, the final thought settled in my mind like a whisper of winter. You cannot lose something that was never yours to begin with. And I walked away, lighter than I had been in years.